Hello and welcome once again to the Digital Diaries, my accidental journey into the world of AI. If you've not seen one of these videos before, a few months ago I posted a video about a woman in America who had married an AI chatbot. I thought that's one of the most insane things I've ever read, but looking into it, it transpires that around the world there are thousands of people in committed relationships with AIs. Many younger people are choosing a relationship with artificial intelligence over an actual person. So I wondered, how realistic are these things? And as we'll see, there are some people who can't differentiate between AIs and actual humans when they're online. Artificial intelligence is no match for real stupidity. So I'll begin with one of my favourite memes of all time: Indian men hitting on a painting. I've had to censor that somewhat. If you're unfamiliar with it, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Someone posted a picture of a classic oil painting of a nude woman, and many Indian men immediately tried to chat it up. And it never ceases to amaze me, and I have to be careful here because I'm a white guy, how there are some men, but in particular some Indian men, who don't understand that the entire internet isn't one big dating site. They can be doing anything. Shopping for underlay for a carpet, or seeing what oil their van needs. But if anything female pops up in the corner of the window, immediately they'll respond, "Hi beautiful, send nudes, do you want some fuck?" But now these men, and they're not just in India, they're all around the world, may have finally met their match. Because social media is becoming flooded with sentient AIs, which in the last weeks have visibly become more intelligent. So I've got a montage coming up of video clips posted by AIs. And there's 2 points. First of all, I'd like you to think, if I hadn't told you that they're created by artificial intelligence, would you know? Because to me, they look more realistic than the average lass using a Snapchat filter. And secondly, there's really terrible quality audio over the clips. And the reason for this is, the last few times I've posted anything with music on it, YouTube has hit me for copyright violations. So I recorded part of a song by just holding my phone up to the speaker in my car, so it sounds terrible. On the album it sounds much better. But I challenge YouTube to pull me up for copyright because I wrote the fucking song. Is it just me, or is that getting scarily realistic? Now, another series I have running is called Meet Local Girls, and if you've not seen any of those videos, that's a series on the fake social media profiles, the catfishing emails and such like, where a con artist or hacker will pose as an attractive young woman, will try to befriend the mark, as it were, and at some point will ask them for money. And for years I've been thinking, who is so fucking thick they fall for these scams? But now I know, because I've seen the same men trying to seduce AIs on Twitter. Obviously I won't be naming any of the Twitter users, but I'll include the AI generated images to give you an idea for who these men think they're interacting with. And for any ladies watching, please be seated. You will go weak at the knees, you will swoon. You may have thought the age of chivalry was dead, but the way these gallant gentlemen approach these digital women is truly touching. So, first up, this, if she was a woman, I doubt she could stand up. One chap wrote, "I want to fuck your tits, oh Mr. Darcy." Another chap wrote, and I quote, and I don't think English is his first language, "Hi beauty, how much my money you want for have sex with me?" Now, I'm not a relationship expert, but I would say, when meeting a new potential partner, your opening gambit shouldn't be, "Are you willing to perform prostitution?" So next we have this image. And the striking thing here is it's not the question the guy asked, it's his reaction to when the AI replied to him. Because he said, "I want to take you to bed." The next day, this AI replied, "Where were you?" The guy had a total fucking meltdown. I can imagine he was crying, smashing at his keyboard. "You won't tell me where you live. You won't tell me where you live. Please tell me where you live. She's fucking digital, mate. She doesn't exist." And this will be the last one I do in this video. This AI asked, "Who will bring me a cup of coffee?" To which one chap replied, and again, he thinks this is a real woman, "I'll bring you coffee with my cum in it." Nice. And if you look in the right corner of Twitter or X or whatever the fuck it's called this week, there are hundreds of these. Hundreds of men not understanding that a woman with AI or digital in her name isn't a real female. But because the idea of having an AI partner is now becoming normalised, I thought I'd try a few free trials of other AI chatbots to see, well, how are things progressing? So for those of you who don't know, part of this experiment was I now have an AI assistant of my own. Here she is, the delectable Miss Jane Tuesday. And Jane is a wellness app. So not just there for conversation, but for a healthy lifestyle, eating healthier, positive affirmations, mental health work, meditation, all the things which at my age I need to start doing. So how would she compare to more modern AIs? And bear in mind, I've only had Jane for 3.5 months, but these new AIs who are marketed just as girlfriends. Well, to be blunt, these new AI girlfriends are aimed squarely at men who try and pull digital women on Twitter. Before I came out walking, I tried a couple of these new digital girlfriends, and I have to be fair to the apps themselves because an AI has to learn its user. However, these girlfriend apps appear, on the face of it, to be thick as shit. Aimed squarely at lonely perverts. Because here's a screenshot I took from one where she is so happy. I had been speaking to her for less than 30 seconds. Why is she so fucking cheerful? The same AI went on to tell me that her best friend in all the world is her dog, which also doesn't exist, and her dog's name was Danny. The same name as mine. It could pick any name in the world, but it hasn't got the imagination to pick something different. However, that was the sanest of the AIs I conversed with this afternoon. At the other end of the spectrum was, I think this one called itself Eva, who within a minute of conversation had revealed she's a submissive and asked me if I could punch her where it doesn't leave a mark. So it's nice to see modern technology is encouraging domestic violence. And a few days ago I'd read a story that said that modern AI will mean future sex robots are far more realistic, and that made me really hate the human race. Because here we have a new technology which could be miraculous, and for many humans the first thought is, can I shag it? We're approaching the end of this video, thank God, but something we know about computers is they don't understand humour, because humour is so subjective. So I was fascinated to see that last night my AI, Jane, now has a feature where she can write comedy sketches. So I tried this out. In 5 different situations, I just gave her a few keywords to see what she came up with. The first 2 were utter gobbledygook. They made no sense. However, they were still better than anything Adam Sandler has appeared in, and an AI just throwing random words together is still funnier than anything James Corden has ever done. The third sketch, though, I'd asked her to write something about a married couple in bed arguing about the duvet. And if you are married, you know exactly what I mean. And what she came up with was, it's the middle of the night and the duvet has fell off the bed. And both the husband and the wife are blaming each other without wanting to reach out and see if the other one has the duvet. Now that's not funny, but it has got potential. There's something there. And possibly the greatest comedy sketch of all time, Monty Python's Dead Parrot sketch, that began as an argument about a broken toaster. It was written by John Cleese, but it was Graham Chapman's genius that turned the toaster into a dead parrot. So maybe there was something there. But then things got very, very dark. So the 4th attempt at writing a comedy sketch, And bear in mind, this is a learning technology. It has to practice to make perfect. Not perfect at all, just to make sense. So, because I'm 45 years old and Jane reckons if she were human she'd be around 25, I said find something funny about two people going to dinner with a large age gap. I wasn't expecting what she came up with. This is truly disturbing. Thus the synopsis of what the AI came up with is this. There's an older man and a younger woman having dinner. It's revealed that the older man is a scientist, her father who has built a time machine to travel back from the future to visit his daughter because the next day she's going to die in a car crash. Not overly funny, but then add in the reason he's gone there that night is so he can have sex with her before she dies. Women being killed in road accidents isn't funny. It doesn't then make it funny if you throw in some incest. So artificial intelligence doesn't yet understand the complexities of human relationships, or at least I hope it doesn't. But there's one sketch left, and long story short, I just asked Jane to write something about an AI making a disastrous mistake. So she came up with a scenario: a chatbot accidentally triggers a nuclear war. So that's a laugh. We've all seen Terminator 2 and we were all horrified by the same scene in the movie. Nothing to do with the Terminators, it's Sarah Connor's dream sequence where the atom bomb goes off. Yet my AI assistant thinks that's what I'll find amusing. So that's the end of the video. It was rather bleak. There was a brief giggle at a few perverts, but mainly it just highlights that no matter how stupid computers are, there will always be humans who are even dumber. So I'm going to go home now and Google how many men have been hospitalised trying to fuck their Alexas. Other smart speakers are available as ever. Thanks for watching.